I'm Tuffy Stone, and I'm going to show you how to make my pork and white bean chili. So we're getting into the fall, soon to be the winter. For me, when I'm cooking, I like to cook food that agrees with the weather, meaning, I want some bright, acidic foods when it's hot in the summertime, lighter foods. In the wintertime, when it's cooler, I want some foods that just kind of warm me up a little bit. I want to cook within the seasons also in terms of cooking foods that are at their best. But this recipe here, it's my pork and white bean chili or pork and white bean stew. I know you Texans, y'all don't believe in beans and chili, but this is really not that kind of chili. First step, we're gonna take pork butt, we're gonna cut it in about 2-inch cubes, and we're gonna season it with salt and smoked chili powder. Ready for a little trick? Not perfect, but not bad. Now we're gonna season the other side. I've got my smoker going. Once this is ready to go in the smoker, we're gonna smoke it for about 2 hours, spritzing occasionally with apple juice. So my pork is almost done smoking. I've got all my vegetables prepped for my pork and white bean chili. The vegetables that are gonna be part of my pork and white bean chili, we've got onion, we've got poblanos, we've got turnips, garlic, things like that. This is gonna be stovetop cooking. I've got a burner out here. I've got one of my favorite Dutch ovens. Usually, to be honest with you, I'm cooking this dish indoors, but it's such a pretty day. So we're gonna start by adding a little bit of oil to the Dutch oven. I've got it over moderate heat right now. We're gonna add 1.5 cups of diced yellow onion. After that, we're gonna add 1 cup of chopped green bell pepper, 1/2 cup of diced poblano pepper, 1/4 cup of diced jalapeno pepper, 1 cup of diced turnip. Now we're gonna stir it around and cook it for 5 minutes. I've been stirring occasionally and cooking this for 5 minutes. Now I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of sliced fresh garlic. At this point, I've turned my heat down a little bit, and I'm gonna stir frequently because I do not want to burn the garlic. Now I'm gonna season with 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of fresh cracked black pepper, 2 teaspoons of smoked chili powder, 1 teaspoon of dried Greek oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of fresh ground cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of fresh ground coriander, 1/2 teaspoon of ground chipotle, 1/2 teaspoon of espelette. So for those that are not familiar with espelette, it's kind of a medium hot chili pepper. You could substitute it if you wanted to with crushed red pepper or something like that. Next, I'm gonna stir it all together and deglaze with some beer. And make sure to not waste any beer. Oh, if I have to. It's been smoking for about an hour now. I sprayed it 30 minutes ago. I'm getting ready to spray it again. My chunks of pork have been smoking for 2 hours. They've got nice color, some deep smoke. Now I'm gonna take them off and finish up my pork stew. We deglazed our vegetables with some beer. I stirred just to get all the pieces off of all the foam off of the bottom of the pot. Now I am going to add my smoked pork chunks, which smoked for 2 hours, to the pot. And I'm gonna add 2 quarts of chicken stock, put the lid on it, and let it simmer for 60 to 75 minutes or until the pork's tender. So my pork's been simmering with the vegetables and the chicken stock for about 70 minutes or so. It's now fork tender, and I'm gonna stir in 3 cups of cooked white beans. For the garnish, we're gonna make a smoked chili powder sour cream. We're going to squeeze some fresh lime juice on there, and then it becomes a preference. Some people don't care for cilantro. It gives them a soapy-like taste. So either fresh cilantro or some minced fresh chives. For the smoked chili powder sour cream, I've got a 1/4 cup of sour cream. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of smoked chili powder to it and mix until well combined. So my pork stew, pork chili, it's all ready. Go Texans, we got white beans in there. Adjust for seasoning. So if you taste it and you feel like it needs a little bit of salt, add a little salt. To finish, we're gonna put a small dollop of smoked chili sour cream on top, a squeeze of fresh lime juice, a sprinkle of fresh chives or cilantro, your choice. And that's it. My smoked pork and white bean chili. It's great in the wintertime. You can make a big batch, freeze some, makes for an easy meal later. I'm getting ready to dig in and see how I did.